So I have the lavalier mic. Yes, the lavalier mic is on, although I have to tell you with my voice, it tends not to be a problem. Give me a stadium and I can fill it. So I would just like to complain a little bit because this is the third lunch speech I've done in a week that's been dealing with broadening participation in STEM. So either we're getting a whole lot more attention about broadening participation, or this is a plot to stop me from eating lunch. So just let me know. I actually picked a couple of cookies out, so I should be good. Okay, I wanted to start by kind of telling a personal story because I think it's a personal story that has a lot of implications when we're talking about impediments, and we're talking about impediments to diversity. As you can tell, both from the bio that Bev gave and by looking at me, I'm old. I am so old.
How old are you?
I'm not telling. If you can't figure it out from the story, you're not going to know. But I am so old that when I was making plans about where to go to college, it was way before Title IX. Title IX is the law that was passed in 1972, clue, Bev. That was passed in 1972 that forbid sex discrimination in programs and schools receiving federal funds. So, okay, I really wanted to be an engineer. I thought being an engineer would be a really good idea. I was at New York State, and I had a New York State scholarship that would only work in New York State. Back in the day, okay, I graduated in 65. So back in the day, so it's 1964, and I'm looking for a place in New York State. You notice I'm saying New York State, big state, lots of schools. I'm looking for a place in New York State where I can go and become an engineer. My choices are extremely limited. My choices were so limited that basically I could go to RPI, but they weren't going to let me live on campus. You know, girl distraction stuff. I could also go to Cooper Union. But at that point, Cooper Union didn't have dorms. And I was this, you know, not yet 17-year-old from the country. And the idea of going to New York City, finding my own apartment, and going to school was a little intimidating. So I didn't. I took the next choice and went to Lemoyne College and got an undergraduate degree in math with a minor in physics. So I'm not an engineer now. That may be good, that may be bad. The way I was in topology, it was good I wasn't a theoretical engineer. But then when we're thinking about it and we're thinking about impediments, then there's kind of a couple of things that are going on. Obviously, I didn't want it badly enough. Because if I had wanted it badly enough, I would have lived off campus and gone to RPI, or I would have, God help me, gotten a small apartment in Hell's Kitchen and went across to the East River all the time. So, all right, part of when we're thinking about impediments is people may say, well, you know, somebody should have done something to make her want it more. But on the other hand, from a more institutional perspective, somebody also might say, wow, there were a lot of external impediments there. And that perhaps things should have been done to make institutions more welcoming to her. And so when we're talking about impediments, I think it's very important for us to think a lot about the interaction of impediments. That most of our effort, as people have talked about for the last couple of days, including me, we've talked a lot about, quote, fixing students, about preparing students, about making students able to take it. And that's really important. But if that's all we do, then nothing's going to change.